Every single person has faults. We all have things about ourselves that are not perfect, beliefs that hold us back, unfair judgments, wrong guesses, parts of our personality that are not smooth, and unique traits that make us who we are. We are not perfect, and we are not finished yet, but it's all right. As we grow, we become more mature and our flaws decrease. This happens because we gain more knowledge from our experiences and understand different perspectives. Our thoughts and beliefs also change when we face the truth of life. We all want to make positive changes and become better people over time. However, this doesn't always happen. Today, we will learn why this is the case and discover 5 principles that can help us ensure that our changes lead to improvement. Most of the time, this progress happens without us realizing it. Our lives are influenced by the things that happen around us. We are shaped by our surroundings, and as a result, we are also influenced by random events. While this can lead to a positive result, it can also lead to something bad or harmful. A much better way to bring about change is to be aware of it and intentionally work towards it. We should think about the things we want to achieve, the type of person we want to become, and what we need to do to make it happen. Stoicism is an old Greek way of thinking that wants to know how we can live a happy life. It wants to know how regular people like us can be successful and do well, which the Stoics called eudaimonia. Stoic philosophy is an old way of thinking that people still use in their daily lives, even though most other old ways of thinking have been forgotten. It is practical and simple, which makes it a great foundation to create a strong and positive personal philosophy. Today, we will use it as a guide to create the mindful path that we mentioned earlier. Accept what you can and can't control. One of the most basic ideas in Stoic philosophy is being able to tell apart things you can control and things you can't. The philosopher Epictetus said that the most important thing in life is to figure out what things I can control and what things I can't. This helps me to understand what choices I have control over. So where should I search for good and evil? Instead of looking at things beyond my control, I should look within myself at the decisions I make. If we do this correctly, we will stop the things we can't control from affecting our peace of mind, and we will be able to concentrate on the things we can control. This will make us stronger and more successful as individuals. If we make a mistake, then anything in our surroundings can affect how we feel. Our inner calm becomes uncertain because we can't figure out what we have control over and what we need to accept. Instead, we get distracted by anything that catches our attention or makes us feel a certain way. Epictetus talked about 2 types of things, those we can control and those we can't. We have control over what we think, what we want, what we don't like, and ultimately, what we do. Things we can't control include our looks, the social class we were born into, what others think of us, and any awards or positions we might receive. When we only focus on what we can control, we feel naturally free, independent, and strong. Outside of that space, we are not strong, have restrictions, and rely on others. If you rely on things you cannot control and try to take what belongs to others, you might make mistakes, get hurt, and blame both gods and people. If you only think about and take care of your own problems and let other people handle their own problems, then you will have control over your own thoughts and feelings. Nobody can hurt or stop you. You won't point fingers at anyone, and you won't have people you consider as enemies. If you want to feel peaceful and happy, let go of your desire to control things that you cannot. This is the way to be free and happy. If you want more than just peace and happiness in life, and you also desire power and wealth, be aware that you might lose the peace and happiness you already have in your pursuit of these things. In addition, you may also lose your freedom and further happiness in the process. Accept fate. One thing in life that makes many people very unhappy is when they can't accept things happening around them that they can't control. This could be any topic like traffic, the economy, weather, or how other people act. No matter what happens, worrying or feeling angry, jealous, or frustrated won't change the past or the future if you can't control those events. To show this and assist them in learning to embrace destiny, the Stoics utilize the idea of amor fati, which means loving one's fate. Nietzsche once said that to be great, we should love and accept everything as it is, without wanting anything to change, whether it is in the future, the past, or forever. To simply put, idealism is not about just tolerating or hiding what is necessary, but actually loving it. This idea suggests that instead of constantly opposing and fighting against fate, which causes us pain, it is better to accept and embrace it. Basically, all the things that happened in the past were necessary for you to exist at this very moment. If everything didn't happen in the right order, gas clouds wouldn't have turned into planets and stars. Stars wouldn't have made heavier elements from lighter ones, and life wouldn't have started from the simplest building blocks. We would not have animals, tall peaks, large bodies of water, past events, or ways of life. You wouldn't be able to laugh, feel love, be scared, feel happiness, peace, amazement, wonder, and make things. Although there is pain and hardship in the world, it is this pain that helps us appreciate and enjoy the good things in life. We must work hard to truly feel rested. We must experience loss to value what we already have, and we must experience darkness to fully appreciate light. It's easy to concentrate on the negative parts of life that make us feel bad, but those negative parts are a normal part of life. If we want a world where people are aware and knowledgeable, we need to accept the negative parts as well, and even appreciate them because they help us grow, show us the difference between good and bad, and give us chances. The philosopher Epictetus taught that we shouldn't always expect things to go exactly as we want them to. Instead, we should hope that whatever happens, happens the way it naturally does. By doing this, we can find happiness. Accept death. The fear of death can stop us from developing a strong and steady mindset. This can also stop people from trying new things, going outside, and always feeling scared of the end. If we are scared of dying, we might not be able to fully enjoy life. Marcus Aurelius said that it's possible for someone to die at any moment. Let it guide your actions, words, and thoughts. This feeling of fear and uneasiness can happen in different ways. We might be scared for our own lives and worry that one day we will die and no longer exist. In simple terms, death can either feel heavy or bring positive change, depending on how we see it. The Stoics had a belief called memento mori, which means remembering that we will all eventually die. But this was not a depressing or scare tactic exercise. It was meant to bring beauty, appreciation, and satisfaction to life. By thinking about death, we can understand the value of life. Understanding that there will only be a limited amount of times we can spend with our friends, be with our family, have a nice meal, watch a sunset, walk in fields, go to the ocean, read our favorite book, eat popcorn while watching a movie, or hug our partner can make us really appreciate those moments. When we no longer assume things will always be there, when we no longer waste time arguing about small things or being bothered by minor annoyances, we start to pay more careful attention because we know our attention is limited. Being aware that we will eventually die can make our lives more exciting. Normally, we don't like thinking about death because it makes us uncomfortable. However, this idea can be very helpful in making us appreciate things more and prioritize what truly matters to us. Accept that your happiness is your responsibility. In the end, we have control over our lives and we can make ourselves into who we want to be. The process continues until we pass away. And the decisions we make are ultimately our own fault. One thing that stops people from growing is blaming others for their problems. When we point fingers at others for our situation, behavior, or feelings, we are refusing to take any responsibility. Refusing to take responsibility for the things we have said, thought, and done that have led us to our current situation. The philosopher Epictetus believed that if you desire something good, you should rely on your own abilities and efforts to obtain it. Blaming others might temporarily make us feel better, but it doesn't help in the long run and is usually not true. If we think about our life, we will always find things we could have done differently. We could have made different choices, changed our beliefs, improved our relationships, and taken different actions to reach our goals. It is our job, not somebody else's. If we think about power and the things in life that Epictetus said we can control, they are all our duty. He said that we have control over our own thoughts and actions, including our opinions, goals, desires, and dislikes. Can we hold others responsible for what's inside them? Yes. But it's not helpful or accurate. It's just a small change to make you feel like it's not your fault for a little while longer. If you can't take responsibility for your actions, it usually means you can't accept the need for change. As time passes, you don't grow and continue facing the same problems every year. Taking care of ourselves is our duty. Accept that life is changed. The Emperor of Rome, Marcus Aurelius, who was also a philosopher, wrote some really good words about change that I really like. He said, "Are you scared of change? But what can exist without it? What is more important to nature? Can you take a hot bath and keep the firewood untouched? Eat food without changing it? Can any important process happen without something being changed? Can't you see? It's the same with you and just as important to nature. Many people do not like change because they prefer comfort, certainty, and having things fit neatly into their understanding of the world. Change is something that we are often not familiar with, and it can make us feel unsafe and uncomfortable. It can also disrupt the things that we rely on for stability. But it's something that will definitely happen. It's just the way the world works, and if we don't learn to adjust to change, we may not be able to handle it. When we try to stop or fight against something, we will experience more pain and difficulty as it occurs in our surroundings. The universe is always changing. If it didn't change, we wouldn't exist, and we wouldn't be able to experience the amazing things around us. Marcus Aurelius said that we should be happy and not afraid of death. He compared it to the breaking apart of the substances that make up all living things. Why do people get scared when things continuously change and separate, even though it doesn't harm these things? It's just a normal process. And nothing that occurs in nature is bad or wrong. Change is not bad or evil. It is actually neutral. People think something is good or bad depending on how they see it and how it impacts them. Some of the change will be uncomfortable, challenging, and difficult. However, it is this difficulty that helps us grow. Epictetus said that if Hercules didn't have any obstacles or dangerous creatures to defeat, he would have ended up staying in bed and going back to sleep. If he spent his life snoring and enjoying a comfortable and luxurious lifestyle, he would never have become as strong and powerful as Hercules. Whenever life throws challenges at you, just accept them for what they are. Understand that you can only control your own actions, thoughts, and words. Instead of getting discouraged, try to find the positive aspects that can come out of the difficult situation. See if there are any valuable lessons to be learned and opportunities for personal growth.